How do I get a perfect shimmy? I can't do my shimmy. That is the number one question I get asked through Belly Dancer Diaries and my classes teaching belly dance. So today I am going to give you 10 steps to get your Egyptian shimmies perfect. So hi Shimmy Shaker, thank you for watching, and in today's video I'm going to go through step by step how to get that Egyptian shimmy. It's a really good move to know because your audience will love it. Everyone loves watching a good shimmy. It's really fun, but also it is one of our basic belly dancing moves. And when I say basic, it doesn't mean it's easy. It means it might be difficult, but it is essential for your belly dancing, so you really need to know it. Okay, so first one is, and I know this is easier to say than to do, is to relax. When people often start their shimmy, they tighten up everything, they don't want to shake things, but if you're doing a really strong shimmy, it's essential that you're relaxed through here especially. So number one, shake it out and just get ready to relax through your whole body. Okay, step number two is our posture. This is really important because it prevents injury, but it also will give you a strong shimmy. So starting off, we bring our feet hip width apart. If you can't tell what's hip width for you, if you don't have a mirror in front of you, you can bring your heel to your toe, turn your foot around, and that will be your hip width. We then have our pelvis tucked in and our chest up. Really important, don't lean back in your shimmy, because when you start to shimmy, if you're leaning back, it's a lot of pressure on your back, and especially as you start coming into those layers, it's not going to feel good. So make sure you're standing up nice and tall, from here down, relax, from here up, nice and tall, and hands slam down on the boardroom table. Okay, step number three is to work those knees. So our Egyptian shimmy comes all from our knees. We're keeping our feet flat on the floor, and we're bending one knee, then the other, one, and then the other. So you can see as one bends, the other one straightens, as one straightens, the other one bends. Again, remember our other steps, keeping yourself nice and relaxed, keeping your posture up nice and tall. Once you've got this, you can go a little faster, really working into that shimmy. Yeah, good work. Okay, so you might be feeling okay here, but you might be feeling that you can't keep your shimmy for very long, or that it's hard to get it the whole time and get it just quite strong. So what you need to do next is step number four, and that is to build strength. The best way I've found to build strength through your shimmies is of course to practice, but also to do it on the floor. So if we're doing our shimmy on the floor, we're coming down, sitting down with our feet straight out in front of us. We're bending one knee, then the other, keeping your posture up nice and tall. And you can feel, or you can hear it, my calf muscles slamming onto the floor. Now, if you've got bad knees with this one or with any exercises, always get your doctor okay, but you can also roll up a little towel, place it under your knees just to make sure you don't hyperextend your knees, and then you're pushing into the floor. To help with this one, you can bring your hands over the top to make sure you get that full bend. So you want to get the full bend rather than just a little vibration, really working those knees strong. Yay! Okay, so step number five, you can stay on the floor for this one. And if you're finding that it's enough getting up to step number four, stay with step number four. Otherwise, if you're ready for step number five, that is to try and even it out. Always one leg will feel stronger than the other. A great way to even it out is to practice that one leg. So say if your right leg is weaker, you practice on your right leg, just going with that right leg, keeping the left leg still trying to get that knee bending straight, and again, you can hear it on the floor. And make sure you do both legs, check it out, see which one can you go for longer with, which one feels a little bit more difficult to do, and try and even it out. Okay, how are you going so far? Let's try our shimmy again. So even after that, you might feel better. But step number six is to be able to do one-legged standing to really even it out. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can stand and just shimmy on one leg, which I find is really useful because it highlights a lot about your shimmy. Keeping that knee working, so remember step number two, working those knees. We never want to just vibrate really small. We want to keep it in the knees for our Egyptian shimmy, really strong. So one side, then the other. You might feel as well that one side feels a little bit stronger still, and that's normal, but you still want to be able to do both sides. You don't want to have it so that it's so uneven that one side you can do it and the other side you can't. So see how you go with that. We're still keeping our feet on the floor, one side then the other. Think about those knees, think about your posture. Working through, building that strength. Good. The other way you can practice this is to stand wholly on one foot. So if I'm standing on one foot, it's the leg that is on the floor that is doing the shimmy. So if I'm here, again, I'm nice and tall, doing the shimmy. You can see my knees working. The other leg is just out to the side. If you want a little bit more balance, you can bring the ball of the foot onto the floor. And there you go. There are side to side shimmies. How are you going so far? Have you mastered those? If yes, then we are ready for step 7. So step 7 is putting layers in, but from other parts of the body. So if we start with our shimmy, nice and strong, feet on the floor, posture tall, working your knees, nice and even and nice and strong. The first layer I really like to do is with the arms. So if you are feeling comfortable in your shimmy, you should be able to do it without thinking. And if you're not at that stage yet, don't worry, because the only way to get there is to practice. So if you just practice, build up those muscles in your muscle memory, then you'll be able to get it. And I find if you can do this, you're pretty close to getting your layered shimmies as well through other parts of your body. So a layer, if you haven't done a layer before, basically it's anything where you're doing 2 moves at once. So in this one, we're doing our shimmy, and we're also working through our arms. Another nice little one is a little chest lift. So again, working through our shimmy, but lifting up through that chest, just to give a different move on top. Try and keep the shimmy. If you lose at any time, you can just come up, drop down, shake it out, and then come back in, and then see what you can do over the top, even if it's something really simple. Little arm movements, might even be little hand movements. Okay, how'd you go with that? Did you get through that one? If yes, awesome. We are ready to step 8 to perfecting our shimmies, and this is adding in hip layers. So this is a lot harder than moving your arms or moving your chest while you're shimmying, because you're moving the area that you're actually working. So if you think about your shimmy, any move that works through your hips is going to be another challenge for you. The one I like to start off with my students is moving side to side. So this is just a hip slide where our knees are soft and we're coming side to side with our hips, keeping our hips to the front, and then you add a shimmy on. So when you first start these ones, they can be difficult. So try doing the slide first and then adding the shimmy. And then try doing the shimmy first and adding the slide, and see which one works better for you. There might be one that works a little bit better, or it's a little bit easier for you to get. And as well, if you lose it, don't worry, it'll come with time. This is a hard step to get. So still keeping it in your knees, still keeping your posture tall, still keeping everything here relaxed, still keeping the shimmy nice and strong, nice and even between both legs. So another one you can try is our little hip twists. So you can bring your hips one forward, then the other, or even little circles, anything that works your hips, or even your nice figure 8s. Keep in mind as well, sometimes when you start to layer your shimmy, the shimmy might get a little bit smaller and your move might get a little bit smaller as well. But this is perfectly natural, because usually we're using that body part for one move. So for example, if you're doing your undulations, you're often using your knees to come into the undulations. And then if you're using your knees for the shimmy as well, of course the shimmy is going to get a little bit smaller and the undulation is going to get a little bit smaller too, because you can't use those knees to the full extent in one move. You're trying to now spread it out for both. Okay, nearly there. Number 9, and that is trying to keep the shimmy for as long as possible. So all I can say about this one is it's about practice. So if you even practice on the floor, that's going to help you a lot as well. But you want to try and practice your shimmy every opportunity you can get. So while you're photocopying at work, do your little shimmy. It doesn't have to be your layers. You can do your basic shimmy. The longer you do it for, the better it is going to be with all your shimmy moves. Nice and strong. That's it, that's it, that's it. And see how long you can go for. You want to be able to try and get as long as you can. I think if you go for it at least 20 minutes, that's great. I mean, you won't probably have to do a whole performance just of shimmies, but you should be able to do it without thinking and without feeling too exerted by it, especially when you're standing up. Okay, and our final challenge is to come into a walking shimmy. So walking shimmies are really, really fun. They're a great way to travel across the dance floor, but again, they are tough. So walking shimmies, the number one principle to remember is whichever foot is on the floor, that is the one you are shimmying with, no matter what traveling shimmy you do. So for example, say if we want to just do a shimmy with a walk forward, shimmy walk forward, you can see my knees are working and I'm walking forward. So could you see as I lifted that leg, I stopped shimmying on this leg and I just shimmy on the leg that's on the floor, and then I land and the shimmy comes on back onto this leg. As I change, shimmy on this leg. So all the other foundations will help you to be able to do this, the side to side, the posture, the strength, everything, so that you can then come into a walking shimmy nice and strong. If you're feeling really keen, you can add some nice little layers onto it. You can do up onto your toes as well. And of course our beautiful forward and back step where we're coming forward and back with our shimmy on top. So there you go. And final thing, of course, is to enjoy it. Some of my most special memories of belly dancing have been when I've been doing my shimmies, because if you're doing a shimmy and then the whole crowd is cheering for you, everyone really gets really excited when you're doing a shimmy, and then you get really excited and then you're shimmying stronger and stronger, and the energy with your shimmy is beautiful. So it's an awesome move to learn. If you have any questions, please write them down in the comments below. I've done quite a few shimmy videos, but I just wanted to do this one to bring everything together. I've got some shimmy workouts too, so if you're finding it hard to practice by yourself, have a look at those. I'll link them down below too, and then you can have a little practice and work out with me until you get them. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.